we say goodbye to two of our favorite agents in one of the stupidest, most poorly executed shows of the series. That's right, we're ripping apart Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 13. Parting Shot. Get it? Because of the shot glasses at the end? Alright, spoilers ahead, just so you've been warned. Now let me just start off right off the bat. You know how much I love this show. I love this show. I love the writing. I love the arcs that they have done with it. I love the character work. I love everything about this show. That being said, this episode fucking sucked. Oh, I was so mad by the end of it. And it's not just because we're saying goodbye to Bobby and Hunter. We knew that this was coming. They've got their own spin-off series coming out next year. So you can see that they're trying to do sort of a... They're not even doing like a backdoor pilot for this. They're just kind of saying goodbye so they can send them off. And that's fine. But I think the way that they did it, was just awful. Really bad. So many other better choices that they could have made. And an episode that really just constantly raised questions and not really in the more interesting way. So the episode starts off, we had, Bobby and Hunter were in the belly of the beast of the airplane, in Malik's plane, taking Petrov back to Russia. And Malik and Petrov were discussing this inhuman sanctuary. But as we get there, the sanctuary seems to be almost already built, at least well under construction. So you have to start thinking, all right, well, obviously Petrov had something going on, and this was just, an idea that he was presenting up to the council, maybe getting Malik in with it. But what Malik is really there for is to cover up a murder, or help cover up a murder of the Prime Minister's assistant. Was killed by a general who is an Inhuman, and it was really upset, and now they're trying to cover that up. All right, a little convoluted. And as I said, this thing was already being built. It's already big structure, and it's already got like stealth technology weaved into it or over it. So this is something that's been going on for a while. And if we could piece together what they're talking about, it seems that Petrov has been building this, kind of not with the approval of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister sends his guy to check it out. The general gets mad, kills him, and now Malik is there to help kind of cover it up, which seems very convenient timing-wise that Malik was giving Petrov a ride back. Perhaps this was part of his plan, but Petrov was at the big summit meeting, and that was taking some time. So was the assistant dead for a while? Did this happen when they were in the air? All that's not particularly clear. And again, it just raises some questions. But fine, we'll go with that. And the agents come in, and they go and check it out, and the general is an Inhuman, and he's got these really cool powers. I like that. Again, good, easy powers to use for TV, not a whole lot on the big effects, money generating time there. And they're using Dark Force, which we saw before and was last in Agent Carter. So we're building up some of the power, some of the ideas here. That's all good. But when it all falls apart after the end and they save the Prime Minister and they're doing the whole thing in the Gulag, which was part of the whole flashback part of the episode, to me it really starts to fall apart. One, they've got everything on tape. And we know that because they say that they're recording everything. That's how Mac was able to look back and notice that there was something odd with the General Shadow when he got released and pulled back. They were able to go back and look at that. Therefore, they've got everything that was on tape that was seen through the surveillance system. They've already got that recorded, which means they have the Prime Minister's enemies, the General and all of them saying, "We're going to kill you. Oh, this is what's going on." So they have recorded evidence that it's not, that Bobby and Hunter were not behind it. So are they just trying to frame Bobby and Hunter because they're Americans? They even follow the whole bit where the reason that they're sacrificing them is they're worried they can't let them know that S.H.I.E.L.D's around building their own Inhuman army, except that Daisy was the only Inhuman there. and nobody saw her. None of the Russians did. She was just fighting the alien shadow creature. And when they did went in and take them out to rescue the prime minister, they had thrown in smoke bombs. So you couldn't really see him. She didn't use her powers really in front of everybody. So there's no reason to say that that Inhumans have anything to do with it, let alone building an Inhuman army. All you could say is, hey, we are watching after Malak, who we've got some questions about, and we have saved your life, and we've got, your enemy's confessions on tape, and these two guys, whether agents or not agents, just saved your life. So what is with the whole Interpol, you're behind the murders type kind of thing? It's just dumb, and just kind of infuriating, really. And then even the whole disavowal. Okay, you disavow when people get captured, caught, or killed. That's the whole MI5 thing. I'm sure it's a little different, or, the whole Mission Impossible thing. Sorry, MI5's Britain. But they were captured and then they were released. So why are you disavowing? What the heck is the president doing there in Moscow for? The president's going to fly all the way over here to have this little discussion about them with the ATCU? That makes no sense. Why didn't Talbot come if it's an ATCU matter? They could say that they were even actual spies, but they worked for the CIA or for the ATCU for that matter. I mean, there's so many other covers that they could have given them. And then they get released. What? So they say, no, they're not an agent, so everything's okay, and then they release them? Why can't you just bring them back into S.H.I.E.L.D? Okay, you can't have the Russians see them? Fine. You don't get to operate in Russia anymore. But there's no reason to pull them off. So just the whole setup for everything I just found really nonsensical and kind of infuriating. I understand that you want to, these characters are going off and they're having their own spin-off series, but heck, you could have had them on the run. You could have done the whole episode with absolutely no S.H.I.E.L.D. backup. Everything happened the way that it did because Hunter was pulling away the prime minister, and then Bobby came up and shot the general, and then she gave up. They could have done that, had no S.H.I.E.L.D. in the entire episode, and then maybe they escaped, or maybe there's an international incident, they caught them on tape, so there's a bigger reason of why they can't come back on S.H.I.E.L.D. All of that, no, they didn't do any of it. They just kind of wrapped it all up and then said, oh, by the way, I guess you can't be with S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. Really, there are so many other ways that they could have done this that would have been better. And this, it's just kind of infuriating because there's just so many questions that are raised, or why did they make these choices? None of it really made any sense. And again, if you are letting them go, there is no reason to disavow them. And what, again, international incident? We already know that the Russians were starting to raise their own Inhumans. That was the whole basis of this Inhuman sanctuary that was really going to end up being a prison, and they already had a general who was an Inhuman, so they've already started, in a way, their own Cold War thing. The fact that there were no Inhumans seen on the S.H.I.E.L.D. side, again, nobody saw Daisy. It doesn't make any sense. And then they top it all off with the spies goodbye. So half the bar buys them drinks and then walks out and nobody notices. First of all, they're back in the US, so what does it matter? I think they imply that there is some agent, maybe CIA or government or somebody of some sort, maybe even the Russians, I don't know, watching Bobby and Hunter in the bar, so they have to be all kind of quiet. But then we've got everybody else just doing shots. I mean, seriously, it's like, here you go. I didn't order this. Somebody ordered it for you. Well, from who? Oh, they asked me not to say. Oh, there they are. Oh, look, they're all saying hi to you. Oh, isn't that sweet? Hi. Yeah, these are the ones, right? Yeah, we seem to have the worst set of agents in the world. They're all pretty obvious here. We should send in backup. We should go. Just really annoying. You know, if they're back, they're in the U.S. Why can't they simply say hi? They were ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. Invite them to a barbecue. You know, some type of way as opposed to some semi-public goodbye sweet thing. I mean, it was sweet. It was nice seeing everybody say goodbye and all that. I mean, I got a little teary-eyed up there too. But really was more infuriating than anything else. I know these guys are leaving. I know you want to set up, but I don't know what the basis for the show is going to be. I mean, my idea was that Bobby and Hunter were the most wanted, that like they're being chased. Maybe they're going after. I don't even know. What are they going to do now? They got no jobs. Just, you know, for a show, again, that I really like, there are so many ways to pull it. They could have even waited and put this in some sort of way with Civil War, with the big breakup and hullabaloo that's going to happen off of that. I mean, there's so many ways they could have done this better. Anyway, I'm very upset. It's sad to see them goodbye. Now we've got other episodes. We got Watch Dogs are coming next week. That's kind of exciting. Anyway, but we'll be back here. I don't know, maybe you guys like the show. Maybe I'm just, you know, nitpicking, but it really did annoy me. So that's it. That's my rant for the day. I'm done. Okay? I'm out. Please press like if you enjoyed my spewing of hatred for this episode. Feel free to subscribe. Normally I'm much more positive on things. Comments in the section below. What do you think? Did you like it? Did you think things were well done, or were you as infuriated about the whole episode as I am? Comment in the section below. We can continue the dialogue here. Anyway, that's it. You can catch me on Twitter. I'm at Darren Jakes. Otherwise, I'm D, and I'm out of here with my shot glass. See ya.